Woohoo, Sharon. Hey, girl. Girl, guess what? Today, this is not going to be just a small talk. This is a conversation we're going to have today where people start having, when they're a conversation they start to have when life really gets real. Welcome to the Holy Shiftball Podcast. I'm Bethany, your energetic bestie, alongside my powerhouse bestie, Sharon. Hey, Sharon.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
Girl, I am awesome. I am awesome.
Excellent. I am awesome too. And today we're here to help you turn your shit into a shift. And that's assuming my laptop survives long enough to finish this episode.
Girl, honestly, Sharon, your computer, like entering survival mode before the show feels very on brand for today's topic.
Doesn't it? Right? Because today we're talking about stress, emotions, the nervous system, healing, and what happens to the body when fear takes over.
Yes, girl, because most people do not realize their body is always listening to everything.
Oh, yeah. Your body listens to your thoughts. It feels your stress. It feels the environment that you're in. It feels all of your emotions.
Girl, and when someone receives a life-changing diagnosis such as cancer, their entire inner world changes instantly.
You know it. Been there. Your mind
Yep.
starts spiraling, your nervous system goes on high alert, and suddenly even breathing feels different.
Yes, today's guest understands both the science behind the body and the emotional reality of healing. So today we are joined by Olga, and I am so excited for this conversation, Sharon.
Me too. And we can't say her last name. We'll have to ask her when we bring her on because neither one of us are going to attempt it.
Yeah, slaughter it.
Olga has a background in biochemistry, pharmacology, and over a decade in clinical cancer research, pardon me. And Olga brings a deep scientific understanding of the two conversations around health and healing.
Yes, but for Olga, she lost much of her family to cancer. So the conversation became deeply personal for her.
Absolutely. And that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
And that journey led her to exploring the connection between emotions, stress, healing, lifestyle, and
Mhm.
what it truly means to feel safe in your body again.
So, Sharon, today we're deep diving the nervous system survival mode,
Mhm.
emotional healing, and girl, our favorite, consciousness.
And hopefully not my computer's final breakdown.
Honestly, girl, if your laptop crashes during this episode, we're calling it a live demonstration of a nervous system dysregulation.
Absolutely. And with that, Olga, welcome to Holy Shiftballs.
Bethany and Sharon. It's an absolute delight to be here.
It's a
your
pleasure.
your
We've been looking
computer
forward to this.
antics notwithstanding,
Mm,
we'll cross our fingers and send good energy that everything goes smoothly.
For sure. For
exactly.
sure. Olga,
Exactly.
Olga,
Mhm.
I would like to deep dive to just jump right into this. After years of working in cancer research, what changed in your perspective about healing on a deeper level?
Well, sadly, it came from direct family experience. They received the best medical care in the world. And unfortunately, despite that, they were unable to overcome their diagnosis. And so that really made me sit back and think about this, that the body is, if you only address matters, the disease on the body, the physical level, it's an incomplete approach. And then I set off wandering and wondering around the world, what other complementary approaches can add and benefit and strengthen and help people overcome this diagnosis. And I came to the conclusion it's really a multidimensional approach, because we're multidimensional beings. We're not just
Absolutely.
a sack of enzymes, so you can't just be you know,
Yeah.
treating the tumor and that's it, that's all, good night, folks.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, Olga, first of all, how do you pronounce your last name, Olga?
Well, if I were feeling mean, I'd say, why, just the way it's spelled. But
We were going to pronounce it that way, and we thought, it's probably not right.
Yeah, so there's 50 variations, but it's pronounced Jakiwczyk.
Oh, well, we would not have gotten.
That's not what I got. That's not what I
No, it's not intuitively obvious.
I don't think we got even one of the 50 iterations. So I'm glad we didn't try. Glad we stayed away from that. So cancer took most of your family. What was the moment that you realized that the medicine you had dedicated your career to, that your life to, wasn't going to be enough? When did you have that realization?
Well, that was when the third family member was ill and in hospital and in a coma. Because when the first diagnoses came, I was really pumped and energized, and I would be doing literature searches and combing PubMed and looking at clinicaltrials.gov and really exploring all kinds of, the molecular pharmacology of the latest approaches. And I was extremely optimistic and hopeful, but then time after time, it just didn't seem to be enough. And then I just felt like my world had collapsed when you lose family members that are so close to you, and it's a real intimate and intense situation. The stakes are high, and these hospitals, although there's very many dedicated and caring practitioners, just by their nature, they're not set up to be a calm, peaceful, healing environment. There's always so much going on, and that really gave me much to think about, like what kind of an environment do you need internally, externally? What is healing? What is disease? What is the body capable of? Who am I and what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The existential question: who am I and what am I doing here?
Right. What would you say? Why do so many people disconnect from their body during stressful or traumatic experiences?
Well, as I think it was you, Sharon, who was talking about the diagnosis, I think that in itself can be classified as a PTSD experience, because so much of it, I mean, the weight of the words, and sometimes even the way it's delivered.
Yes.
And the way professionals are taught, in order for them to do their job effectively and efficiently, they have to distance themselves and be very clinical about it. That can be absolutely devastating to the person receiving the news on the other end. So because of the shock and the overwhelm, the person goes into safety and survival mode, so they just leave their body.
Yeah. And it sounds like me on a day. There I go.
Woo, we're gone. I'm always saying, Bethany, come back into the body, Bethany. Come on, because she's out there running around somewhere. I don't know what the heck's happening.
Yeah. You go on these mini instantaneous vacations.
I do. Okay. I do. I'm like,
just tours around. She's off in another dimension somewhere. But what you're saying about receiving the diagnosis is absolutely true. And when the news is delivered, like on the last time I was diagnosed with breast cancer, the doctor phoned me first thing in the morning on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And said, yeah, you were right. You have breast cancer. And, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But so I had to have a talk with him after and say, can you please check your, and it's a good thing that was my fourth time of being diagnosed with cancer, because you don't get used to it, but it was not as overwhelming as, had it been the first time. So I sat him down and said, okay, check your patient's charts, because we really don't want to be giving this information to them on the birthday.
Oh, by the way, have a great day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so my question for you is, so you traveled to China, to South America, to the UK, And you didn't go as a tourist, right? You were a scientist on a mission. What were you
Yes.
looking for that you couldn't find at home? And what surprised you most about what you actually found when you were there?
Well, I guess I would say in China, I was studying Qigong there, and
Right?
actually, I missed the trip to the Forbidden City because I was very unwell.
Oh no.
But
Mm-hmm.
the local master there, he did a treatment on me. And afterwards, I literally sprung off the table and I thought, wow, I feel as good as new. What is this? And so that really got me interested in medical Qigong and the human energy system from an Eastern perspective. And medical Qigong also has a very spiritual approach too, which I found very interesting.
Olga,
Yes.
how do people begin shifting from survival mode and and emotional overwhelm into peace and trust and regulation? How does one start to regulate their bodies?
Well, I would say two things. It's a process and small steps. When you first hear those words, you're like in a movie walking in slow motion. Sharon, I'm sure I don't have to explain this to you. So you can't just, serenity now and close your eyes and meditate your way out of it. Your body and your nervous system have to slowly step down and feel like they're in a place of safety and that they can regain a sense of control. And only from there can you start making meaningful changes, be it, whatever modality you're interested in, whatever natural approach. I don't know if that's too vague
Yeah.
or if you want to go into, more specifics.
Well, how does one person, like, if they are in their mind all the time and they are thinking all of these, what, I call lower aspects, the worry, the fear, the stress, the anger, the rage, the grief, the sorrow, all of this, and they are in their mental body thinking these lower, how can you shift them out of the mental chatter?
They have to get slowly back into the body. The best way to do that is to be out in nature, because
Mm,
that's like a pattern interrupt. Like sunshine
yes.
is good, forests are good, beaches are good,
Mhm.
anything that grounds you. And then I'm sure it's very actually quite popular now. There's more and more talk about the vagal nerve. That's the
Mhm.
parasympathetic nervous system,
Yep.
the one, the rest and digest.
Mhm.
There's even technology out there that can help you. But so for the techno geeks, they can do technology. There's even devices, I think.
Mhm. Mhm.
Solex does, there's people who do vagal nerve reset. There's even, I think there's Primal Trust Academy. They really focus on survival, getting your body out of survival mode. Dr. Joe Dispenza spends
Mhm.
an awful lot of time talking about heart, brain, and getting out of
Mhm.
survival mode, calming the nervous system. But just quick tips how to activate the parasympathetic system. You can hum, you can gargle, you can sing, you can do breathing, you can take a cold shower. These are quick, free, easy ways to start favoring your parasympathetic system more.
Greg Braden has a easy one where you put your fingers on your chest bone, and you just breathe for like a minute and a half, and it realigns everything and gets your parasympathetic nervous system back online and takes you out of fight or flight and lets your body know that you're safe. So that's
Yeah.
a really easy one to do as well.
So what I'm hearing, Olga, is that you're getting it to get out of the mental body, the stress, the figure it out, all of that is to regain presence, to get yourself back into the present moment so you can become aware of what it is that you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing. And then when you get brought to presence, you have choice in how you choose to really think, feel, and believe. Would you say that's kind of accurate?
Yes, that's an excellent resume. Like you have to tell yourself, okay, I'll postpone, I'll get out of this like whirling whirlwind of thoughts, stress, fears, panic, overwhelm, and I will just breathe and walk. Like nature's good, but also then you can do yoga, you can do Tai Chi, any kind of Qigong, of course,
Qigong, exactly. Yep.
Mm.
any kind of activity that you like or prefer that really gets you out of the mental and brings you back into the present moment. And the breath is the easiest thing to connect with. So if you have, that's why these like yoga and Tai Chi and Qigong are excellent, because their focus is on breath, intention, and posture. And these are the things that are going to get you out of that panic, overwhelm, crazy whirling thoughts. Oh my God, I've been diagnosed, and bring you into now. Are you dying right this second? No. And so once you start with a little thing, then you can move on to, like you said, then you can connect and with someone or with a professional or a family
Yeah.
member to help you navigate through all of that mental whirlwind of fear, panic, and overwhelm.
Olga, how do you deal with cancer experiencers after they've been through treatment and come out the other side? Do you deal with them? And if so, how do you get them to feel safe again once they're not under a doctor's care?
Well, yes, fear of reoccurrence is a huge theme. And so I think what's most important is the philosophy of, I studied at the Metabolic Terrain Institute, and I really like the point of view is the cancer, the tumor is a manifestation. It didn't just show up
Exactly.
overnight. It was a process.
Yes.
So if you have the proper terrain and the terrain is your body and how you look after your body, your mind, your spirit, if you're doing all the right, not that I don't like to say the right things, but if you're cultivating it appropriately, if your nervous system is balanced, and that's a huge thing, that means your hormones will be balanced, if you're eating properly, if you're in a good state of mind, if you're supporting your body with what it needs, with good nutrients, with quality proteins and minerals, then you're really optimizing your chances of resilience, and you're significantly minimizing any risk of recurrence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Olga, what does it look like for our viewers that if they have been diagnosed with a cancer or a serious illness, or they know someone, what does it look like working with you so they can get a kind of a viewpoint of what it would feel like to work with you?
Well, I like to work very closely with people and like to invest a lot of time and energy. So for me, it's very important that it's a good fit, that we are on the same wavelength. So I spend I have a free 30-minute Zoom call, And prior to the Zoom call, they fill out a very brief questionnaire with some preliminary details, and then we discuss what their beliefs, philosophies, their needs are. And if I can match that and we feel it's a good fit, then we move on from there.
Yeah.
Because beliefs are very important. I'm not here to tell anyone what they should be doing, what they must. I think that's very counterproductive.
You know, Olga, I'm the same way in my company. I do an interview to see if we are an energetic match, if what I'm going to be able to provide, bring to your awareness, if you're, on a totally different wavelength, what I'm able to give and share is going to go over, and you're not going to follow. You're not going to choose the guidance. So I'm not going to waste my time. You're not going to, I'm not going to waste mine. I'm not going to waste yours. So it's just like that 30-minute interview, process is so um informative to see if we are an energetic match.
Exactly. I feel like cancer patients have enough people around them. They have, radiologists and medical oncologists and all kinds of other specialists and practitioners and telling them all kinds of, information and you must show up here and you must be at this appointment. I'm not there in that type of energy. I'm there to support and to guide.
Yeah.
How do you guide someone emotionally to help them see that they can have an empowered cancer experience, as opposed to feeling that cancer is happening to them and they're completely helpless in the situation? How do you guide them back to taking their power back and knowing that they participate in their outcome?
That's an excellent question. That's a super important question. What's important to know is what is their point of view, and by saying this, it's absolutely not my intention to judge anyone. It's a very difficult, very challenging circumstance. And if someone believes that addressing only the tumor is the way to go and that they'll get better, then all the power to them, I think that's fantastic. But my clients are the ones who are interested in digging a bit further, and therefore they want to be involved in doing everything they possibly can to maximize things in their favor, which means that their personality, they're cut from a different cloth. They already have the initiative and the desire to take matters more into their own hands. And based on an initial discussion with them, I'm curious to see what they've read, what they know, and I can point them in other directions. There's very many people out there, thanks to the internet, who are doing wonderful things, wonderful approaches. And I can point them in those websites and those authors so they can be further inspired and also empowered. Because if somebody believes that the medical approach is the only way to do it, it's the safest, it's the best, I can't really add to that. I can't support them further. They have the best institutions to take care of them, and that's fantastic. But my clients are people who think differently and are more independent and want to take things more into their own hands.
They realize that the doctors and their medical team do a beautiful job of looking after their body medically. But your clients, is safe to say, they want, they emotionally, psychologically, vibrationally, like everything. They want the whole package and get the holistic healing from you, which is absolutely fabulous, because that's empowerment itself.
Yes, there's also a lot of literature about various natural products that
Yes.
have surprising effects in vivo and in vitro. So I would also point them in that direction. If they're interested, then they can get involved in that. And of course, advise their team. Nothing is done in isolation.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. Go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, we're getting to our favorite part of the program. It's time for our shit or shift segment. So we're going to ask you some questions, and you're going to tell us whether it's complete shit or whether it's a shift. And then you'll give us a little explanation as to why. Are you ready, Olga? This is the fun part of
I'm
the
ready.
program.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead,
Let's
Bethany.
go.
All right, Olga. Shit or shift? When fear becomes stronger than trust in the body's ability to support healing, is that a shift or a shift?
Yeah, that's a shift. When fear becomes stronger, yeah, the limbic system takes over and you're shut down and you're not firing on all cylinders and you're not relaxed and the healing processes are blocked. Cortisol is through the roof, and that means inflammation's going to be favored, and which means healing is will not be optimized. So shift.
Okay. Conventional medicine and holistic approaches are opposites. You have to choose one, shit or shift.
No, that's I call
That's a
horseshoe.
yeah, that's a
No, it's not either or.
yeah.
No, there's plenty of data to support that complementary approaches have significant effects on well-being, on quality of life. So it's absolutely not either or.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, Olga. When someone starts changing their environment, their stress levels, their nutrition, their emotional patterns, and lifestyle after a diagnosis, is that shit or shift?
Oh, that's an absolute shift. Those are my kind of people. 'Cause you're doing everything you possibly can to improve your terrain and help your body, help your mind. When you change the terrain, you can change your life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I
That's
love it.
beautiful. So, Olga, once the cancer's gone, the emotional work is done. You can just go back to your normal life. Shit or shift.
No,
No.
hit on that one. No.
All right, for my final and last question. If someone believes healing only happens through treatment and ignores the emotional wellness completely, is that a shit or shift?
No, that's another. No,
Yeah.
healing multidimensional because we are multidimensional. If it were just a question of addressing the body, then we should have healed
Yeah.
all kinds of diseases. And if it were just genetics, we should have, wrapped up and, doctors and hospitals would have been out of business. But no,
Uh-huh.
we're
Mm-hmm.
multidimensional and we need a multidimensional approach. And especially with cancer, it's so multifactorial. There's so many things that impact it. So you have to address them all to maximize your.
Like you
Yeah.
say, it's a manifestation, and it's really an emotional manifestation when you get to the bottom of it. That's what it stems from my research anyways. But if a treatment worked for someone else with the same diagnosis, it should work for you. Shit or shift.
Shit. No, we're all individuals. And
Yeah. Well, Olga, thank you so much for being on the show today. Go ahead, Sharon.
If someone wants to work with you, Olga, where can they find you?
they can go to my website, postdiagnosislife.com, or they can send me an email, postdiagnosislife@gmail.com. I have a not very active Instagram post as well.
I don't either, girl. I don't
Yeah,
either. I'm
we're
like,
with you.
I'm
We're with
on
you.
LinkedIn as well, but yeah, my website is a good way to reach me.
Excellent.
well, Olga, thank you so much for being on the
Yes.
show today and all of the information and sharing your heart and sharing your data and information. We are truly grateful for it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having me. I had a great time.
We did too.
Awesome.
Have a wonderful day, Olga.
Thank you. Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Oh, Sharon. Wow.
Gotta love Olga. She's amazing. And I knew she was going to be awesome. Her
Yeah.
information and the knowledge that she shared was right on point. Just
Yes.
fantastic. And I can hardly wait to discuss more with her.
Yes, we didn't
Mhm.
shift much into consciousness, but
No,
just the
we didn't.
plethora,
But
the plethora of knowledge. It feels like there's so many people experiencing, mental health, emotional health, physical, health. So, what a benefit to have a being such as Olga that has a plethora of information, to shift somebody's not only mind, body, but
spirit.
their. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell just by speaking to her that she is kind, caring, compassionate, and will be very, very good at supporting whoever
Yes.
she enters into a supportive relationship with. Yeah. So
That's
good.
right, girl.
Amazing.
That's right.
Mhm.
Well, Sharon, who do we
Oh,
have on the show next week?
well, next week we have Susan Lyons, and she's going to come on to discuss how consciousness actually doesn't influence our reality. Is that shit or is that a shift?
Ooh.
We'll find out next week.
All right. Well, Sharon, hey, girl, remember,
Yeah. Oh,
when life kicks you in the balls, be sure to tune in to your Holy Shiftball podcast.
where we help you turn that shit into a shift.
All right. See
See
you
you
next
next week.
Thursday.
Bye bye.